Hey, plumbing bros. Welcome to Potty Talk Live, where we take it into the trenches, the crawl spaces, basements, kitchens, and baths, all around this big, beautiful world of ours to talk to plumbing professionals just like you. Hey there, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, coming at you live from Command Central here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana, where it's not as beautiful as where our guest is coming from. All right, all the way from San Diego, California. All right, that's surfing USA out there. All right. Hey, this guest is, it's going to be fun here. We got a cool cat again out of San Diego, California, founder of Colepepper Plumbing and Pipes Media. So we're going to learn some things about plumbing and media here with his media company. So, hey, bring your questions. All right. And look at that. There we go. Good looking cat. See, I told you, man, looks Californian, but I don't think he's originally from California. We'll find that out. And look at that nice logo, looking sharp. I like that. Looking really sharp. Looking good. How about you? How's your logo look? It's got to look sharp. It's got to look sharp. If you're not looking sharp, you're no butt crack logo. Plumber logos. All right. Can I say butt crack on the? Can I? I just did. Lovely Laura said I just did. So I guess it's okay. Hey, but I don't know if it's about that. Hey, but you got to look good. It's important for you to look good. So how does your logo look? All right. How does your? How about the stuff you hand over to your customers? How does it look? It's got to look sharp. How about your website and those kinds of things? It's got to look sharp. And these days, you got to look sharp. It matters because, look, our customers judge a book by its cover. I know it's not fair and all that PC, but it happens. It's how it is, okay? And I understand we're plumbers. We're not graphic designers. Hey, but you can do what I did. Do what the $1 Million Plumber did and still does. Use Design Crowd because, the Design Crowd, it's like having your own design department, graphic arts department, under one roof, so you get that look like the big guys have without all the costs. And they make it so easy. Okay. All you do is create what they call a brief, which is just a artsy fartsy way of saying create a job. Okay. So you create your little job, you tell them what you want to have done. And then all of a sudden you'll start having all these great graphic designs coming in from all over the world, literally within hours. All right. Yeah, that's right. Lovely Laura just said, that's how we do it. All right. That's how we do it. And then you just simply pick the one you like. All right. You can kind of work them, put some together, say, I like this or like that or this, and put them together and voila. Is that voila? Is that a French? That's a French word. All right. All right. It's a plumber using fancy words there. Look out. I have a hard time with English. But, all of a sudden you got this professional looking design at a fraction of the cost. And that's the key thing, at a fraction of the cost. So you can look like the big guys at a fraction of the cost. Simply go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com/design crowd. All right. And start designing your stuff today because you're a professional plumber. You should look like one, right? Okay. Hey, and if you're a guy out there that has a plumbing license, a plumbing truck, and a plumbing dream, that is a plumbing business dream, you want to do your thing. Okay. Just like this cat we're going to have on here. Hey, I said cat again. All right. You're going to show the cat. There's our cool cat. All right. I guess every time I say cat. Okay. That's the, we nicknamed our cool cat there, Derek. That's for one of our viewers. All right. You're looking good, Derek. All right. Okay. Hey, but hey, if you got that dream, go for it. Go for it. That's what I want for all of you guys. All right. Live the dream. And but your dream can turn into a nightmare, okay? And I don't want that to happen. In fact, for 95% of all plumbing businesses around the world, it does turn into a nightmare. It's not because they don't know plumbing or aren't good plumbers or just, can't get it done. They just don't know the business side of the plumbing business, all right? And that's what I want for you. I want you to understand these things. And I made it so simple for you to get that information. I put it down in my little e-booklet here, the 7 must-knows to be $1 million plumber, all right? You may want to be a $1 million plumber, $10 million plumber, $30 million plumber, or $100,000 plumber. It doesn't matter, but you got to know these principles, these 7 must-knows. And there's no strings attached. There's no catch. It's easy. There's no cost. It's free, all right? All you got to do is type free in the comments, and I'll get that report right out to you. You got to know these things, so do it, all right? Just do it. It's free. If you're taking yourself seriously, do it. All right, there we have it. Hey, let's bring our guest on. I'm excited to talk to this guy. We got Mitch Kenney, founder of Colepepper Plumbing and Pipes Media out of San Diego, California. Hey, Mitch, how you doing, brother?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, certainly, man. You ready to rock Potty Talk Live?
I'm ready to rock.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. So, hey, before we get into plumbing and plumbing, media type stuff, which is that's going to be fun. We want to spend some time in that area. Why don't you tell us a little bit about something about yourself that you're doing that you like to do when you're not plumbing or providing your media services?
Yeah, I love to surf. Like we were talking about earlier, the water's getting warm here. One thing I didn't know about California is the ocean temperature is actually quite cold. You see in the movies and TV shows and stuff, like everybody's out there and like they're in like their board shorts or whatever. But the water's actually quite cold. Yeah. So you got to wear a wetsuit. And I didn't know that when I first moved here a long time ago. But now the water's starting to warm up. And in the summertime, you don't have to wear a wetsuit. You can wear board shorts. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, there we go. The lovely Laura's in the house. That's my wife over here, and she used to live in Huntington Beach, and she was a California girl, and she said the water never gets warm.
No, a little bit in the summertime, gets up to like 70.
Sorry.
72.
I know she's shaking her head over here. We'll take it here, but yeah. I got myself a California babe.
No, I'm not a California.
Yeah, you are right. You are originally from. She's a Hoosier girl who transplanted to California and then transplanted back. All right, but there we have it. Okay, enough of that. So we're good, man. We love the surfing. Yeah, we were talking about that before the show here, and love that. Great exercise. A lot of fun. Good stuff there. Yeah, it does beat you up. That's the last thing I remember. I remember seeing the bottom of the surf. Look at a face full of sand.
Yeah, it can happen.
Time to pull it in. So all right, let's talk a little bit of plumbing. So Mitch, how'd you get into plumbing?
Well, my dad was a plumber. Grandpa was a plumber. So I'm originally from Denver, Colorado. And I barely graduated high school. I just hated school. And I didn't ever really want to plumb, but my dad owned a little business out there. And it was better than going to college. So, I figured I'd give it a shot. I'd go plumb with him for the summer and see how it went. We butt heads. Him and I both have strong personalities, and we just didn't see eye to eye on stuff. It didn't help. I was like an 18-year-old punk kid, all my strong views and stuff. But so he sent me off to go work for a different company, get my license there. Long story short, I got my license at a different plumbing company, went back to try to work with my dad, button heads again. Decided to, so then I didn't work with him, decided to start my own plumbing business. Was a good plumber, but didn't know anything about business. That was back in like 2008 during the recession. And I'd love to say that my failure was because of the recession, but it wasn't. It was because of me, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I filed for bankruptcy then. And
wise men know that. Wise men know that. They admit they learn from their mistakes, right? I mean, that's how you become.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I just had to, be completely truthful with myself. It was because I had the wrong information. I didn't know what I was doing. And so, once you can be honest with yourself, as it can really help you grow and expand and stuff. So filed for bankruptcy, had a home, filed for foreclosure on that. So that's when I met my wife, who was from California. She had moved out to Colorado. We had moved to LA. I had got out of the business for a while. I was doing some phone sales stuff, and that had made me a really good salesman, this phone sales stuff. So anyways, that company went under, so I had to go back into plumbing. I'm like, I'm not plumbing in LA. That's just not going to happen. As I know Larry Enright's on here. I don't know how you guys do it up there. So, and then the surfing kind of sucks in LA too. So I convinced my wife to move to San Diego, and she was crying and stuff. Now she loves it here, and she never wants to go back to LA again. So long story short, so I started my business down here, grew it from 0 to 2.7 million in 2 years, doing internet marketing. We could have grown it a lot faster. I mean, we probably could have went to 5, 6, 7 million. What was holding me back was finding talent to hire. And then also too, like I didn't think I was going to go like 0 to 3 million. I just was kind of doing it. Like the internet marketing was working. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just bump it up some more and hire another guy. And I just like did it a step at a time.
Yep.
But looking back, if I would have planned it out, if I knew then what I knew now, like I could have put a plan in place, and we could have went to like 6 million in 2 years.
Mm.
And so anyway, so I started getting a lot of phone calls and people asking about that, and how I did that with the marketing stuff. So I decided to start Pipes Media, which is digital marketing, mainly just focusing, working with contractors. So now I'm helping other contractors with that kind of marketing that I did for my business.
So let's talk about it. I mean, you had so much there, guys, that Mitch just threw out there. And just, first of all, Mitch, thank you for being transparent and sharing with that, because that's, what's a better word? It's not a failure, about your learning experience. And I can tell just from when you were talking about how you growing the next business, your next plumbing business, and the things that you were doing, that comes, we all come out of those learning experience. And you got hit in the face pretty hard, and it knocked you down for a little bit, but you got back up and started swinging again. So you a lot there. You mentioned, with the planning and, how you were looking at things, and then of course, finding the right kind of guys. But it was that internet marketing there. And that's kind of want to focus on, for a couple of reasons. That's your expertise, and that's, in fact, you have this this business entity, and that's what you're helping other, plumbers with as well. But that's a big concern with a lot of our viewers here, Potty Talk Live viewers, and guys I talk to literally all over the world, is that, internet marketing. So let's talk a little bit about that. So what's your specialty? What area do you focus on with Pipes Media?
So we focus on pay-per-click, specifically Google AdWords. So for guys that don't know what that is, it's if you type in San Diego plumber, or whatever city you're in, or just local plumber, whatever keyword, at the very top you have the searches, and it'll have a little green thing. It says ad. So every time somebody clicks on that ad, you get charged. So therefore it's pay-per-click. You're paying per click. Now, unfortunately, not every click turns into a phone call, but if you're good, we get it to where most of the clicks turn into phone calls. And so that's the pay-per-click part. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it's a very quick way to get phone calls like right now. The second part is SEO, so that's search engine optimization. And there's a couple parts to that. A lot of people misunderstand what that is. But basically you have like the maps section, which is below the paid ads. So that's where if you type in plumber near me or whatever, then you'll see on the maps the different plumbers that are nearby. And then below that, you have the organic rankings, where it's usually like 9 or 10 spots where it has all these different companies. And then at the very bottom, you get the paid ads again. So the point with all this stuff is really you just want to be where your customers are looking, and the customers are looking on Google primarily. And so the more often you can be seen on Google, is it the customer? Hundreds, if not thousands, of search terms and variations. There's San Diego plumber, plumber San Diego, California plumber. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So the goal is to be seen as frequently as possible, as much as possible, for all those different variations. And then there's things you got to get people to convert, because other people are doing this stuff too. So you got to have good ad copy. You want to set yourself apart. You want to have strong calls to action, to get them to take an action and call you right then. So in practice, just talking about it, it's simple, but there's a lot that goes into it. And there's a lot of people that don't do it right.
Exactly. And that's what, and so along those lines as well, Mitch, and think of the guys, we have a lot of viewers that are a little more sophisticated, just a little bit more down the road with experience, and their shop's a little bit bigger, so they get this a little bit better. But quite frankly, there's a lot of, guys that are just starting out, they're one truck, maybe, 1.5 to 2 trucks, those kind of guys. What could you tell those guys, something that they should know, or what's a common mistake when these guys are looking at, taking this on and getting in there? Because, they realize there's something there in their own lives. They're Googling and that kind of stuff. But, you know, the guys are just, you know, you've been there, you know, with the plumbing company, you're just, especially when if it's really small, you're starting out, you're doing everything, you're actually doing the work and that kind of stuff. But along this kind of thing, what is something that the guys should know that they don't know?
I think a lot of the smaller guys, the one-man shops, they're using like Home Advisor and Thumbtack and Porch and those types of platforms. You know, they can work okay. And that's what I used when I was getting started.
Right.
And then I learned about pay-per-click, and it's just a much easier way to grow, and it's a more predictable way. So, you know, I was one truck and I started doing pay-per-click. I started off spending like $2,500 a month on it. And then like, it just, you know, more guys just spend more money. I was up to like 40 grand a month last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that can work very well if you're in a bigger market. You know, it works in smaller markets too, but the bigger markets, there's more population. So, it's just a matter of doing something different, you know, and being uncomfortable. Like I was uncomfortable trying out pay-per-click because I knew Home Advisor was working, but it wasn't like super scalable, and it was a pain to use, and, you know, and you didn't get every call, and, you know, you got to share leads and all this and that. So it just comes down to, you know, trying something different, because like, if you want to, you know, grow and get to a point where you're not at, you have to do something different, right? You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over.
Right.
And that usually requires being uncomfortable, you know? And for me, I'm just like, you know, I'm just going to take a leap of faith on this. And worst case scenario, I'm out $2,500. Best case scenario, I 10x my investment and I make 25 grand, which I did.
Right.
And, you know, it worked out great. That's, you know, that's with business, as you know, sometimes it's just a matter of taking a calculated risk.
Right. There's two words there, and both are very important. First of all, taking a risk, you know, and you've already taken a risk starting your business, which is good. You know, hats off. You know, only 1% of the guys around the world will actually take the risk of starting their own business. So the risk is there, but you got to continue to take that risk, and then you got to learn to take the calculated risk. You know, that's how you survive. You know, You're exactly right. So good choice of words there. Hey, Mitch, we got a question here from Kevin Holbrook. Let's see here. We live in a very low population of 17,000 in our town, and was it 40,000 in our county? What is your best recommendation? We have 2 trucks.
Well, I mean, I'm the kind of guy, I like to go wide as opposed to deep. So my recommendation would be to go wider if you can, just to get more people. But pay-per-click, you know, if you're asking, will pay-per-click work where you're at? Absolutely. It works a lot better the wider you go, because then you can just capture more people, you know. If you're in a small radius, there's only 40,000 people looking for plumbing or HVAC services, and you widen your radius, and now maybe you have 500,000 people looking for those services, then you just got a lot better odds of getting more phone calls, you know?
Right. Exactly right.
Well, yeah, where I'm at, there's like 3.5 million people. So my radius is the entire 3.5 million. So I just go in, and then it's just a matter of how much money we're going to spend. You know, it's a whole supply demand thing.
Right. Exactly right.
But it works in any market. I mean, even in smaller places, I'm just saying it works great it works really great in large areas because there's more people there. So I'm just the kind of guy, I like to go wide. You know, I like to say follow the money. If the money's 20 miles that way, I'm going that way.
You got right.
50 miles that way.
Wherever the buffalo are running, you know, wherever the buffalo are running, that's where you got to get to. Hey, we got another question here from Chris Jackson. Any advice for starting out in Southern California?
Yeah, Southern California it's a tough market, man. I'm from Denver. And then I plumbed in Denver, I plumbed in Seattle, I plumbed in San Francisco, and then finally here in Southern California. This is like the toughest market as far as just everything goes. Everything's expensive here. There's tons of competition. So I would say be priced right. Like, don't, just because you're like getting started doesn't mean you have to like be priced low.
Amen. Amen.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, know your numbers, you know, but a lot of these guys think that just because they're small, they have to be priced low or whatever. They just don't understand like business overhead, and then what it takes to grow and actually run a true business. And then they wonder why there's no money left over and they can't take vacations, have nice things, So I would say be priced right and follow the money. There's tons of opportunity here because there's tons of population.
There we go. And I totally agree. I know, when you're starting out, you're a little, it's okay to say there's a little fear there. And that's one of the biggest mistakes, the guys we've all fall into is we think we got to be, price low. So we wind up just pulling a price, what's the going rate, and we'll take whatever percentage off, or we just pull some kind of number out of our butt, and that never works out well. You gotta know your numbers. And again, this is where guys fail. And I'll be a little transparent here. I'm Mitch is a plumbing business owner, and then with this pipes media company, I totally believe in the SEO and pay-per-click and doing those kinds of things. I never have liked Angie's List is from my hometown, and Home Advisor, and we're not a big fan of that. It works. It's just a game, just as you said, Mitch. You gotta know to play it right. There's a certain way to play that game to be successful. I've never really been a fan of that because it's just difficult for a little guy to really play it successful. But when it's all said and done, you can get the customers. Pay-per-click works. With a good campaign, and SEO works. But you have to have your business set up properly, and you got to know your numbers. You got to be charging properly. You got to be able to take care of that customer properly, not just on the side of just being able to do the work, but you got to have your act together in that area to be able to take advantage of those kinds of things. So it definitely works, but you got to have your business in line. And I know, Mitch, we've talked about that kind of stuff. That I know you totally agree with that. And it's what we're talking on now here. So, man, so what just to along those lines here, get back. We want to come back, talk media here. And you guys have any more questions on that? With Mitch Kenney, founder of Colepepper Plumbing. So he knows plumbing. All right. So he's in the plumbing field, but also founder of Pipes Media. And so he takes care of all the SEO and your pay-per-click needs there, and can manage all that for you. And so we want to talk a little plumbing here. In fact, we got a plumbing question here. Kevin Holbrook came back with a question. Are you flat rate?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think charging time and material is a good thing, because then, the faster you work, the less you make. And so flat rate, it's just price is locked in however long it takes. And it's a beautiful thing. There
we go. Yep. I totally agree with that. And it has a chance that you can have all your costs built in there, built into your price, and it's fair. It's fair for you as the plumbing business, and it's fair for the customer. So, and hey, Chris, I guess we got a couple guys here firing questions at you. The same guys here. Hey, I'm from Colorado. Chris says Colorado Springs. Now I'm a service tech in the Inland. Was it Empire? Inland Empire. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to make the jump. However, the nervous part is the amount of companies out here. Thanks for the input, he says.
Yeah, I definitely would not let that stop you. There's a lot of companies, but there's a lot of population. And, I moved to San Diego, and I didn't know anybody here because we moved from LA, and I started from scratch. Didn't have any existing customer base, nothing, and went to 2.7, could have done more. So it's just a matter of, if I could sum it down up to two things: the correct marketing, the right type of things to get the phone to ring, good sales, and then being priced right.
There we go. And I would add, there's great nuggets of gold there for you guys that Mitch is laying down, and great advice there. To add, just to sum that up, it ain't about plumbing. It ain't about the plumbing, and keep that in mind. It's about money. It's about making the money. That's why you want to start your business. And for Chris, the guys out there are looking, you do that. Mitch, what was something when you started your plumbing business that that surprised you once you got in? When you got in the water, that surprised you?
Couple things that come to mind. So first thing would be all the back end stuff that you don't necessarily think about. Just like managing vendors, like your bookkeepers and accountants, or specifically like all the labor stuff, like out here in California, there's a ton of like labor compliance stuff, and like we start hiring people, and we're getting all this stuff in the mail about we have to sign them up for this labor thing or that labor thing. And luckily I was priced right, so I was able to hire somebody to do that, because it's like you get this like 20 pages thick. It's like what the heck is this? So it's those unaccounted things that, you know, and people don't even think about, that it's all built into the price. And it's nice to be able to just hand it to somebody and go, I don't know what this is, just take care of it, please. Yeah. So there was that. And then I would say like managing guys, once you start hiring guys, managing them, and being a good leader for them, and just kind of supporting them how they need to be supported. There's a lot of beep, sorry. But everybody kind of needs like different support and different types of motivation, and just learning how to like coach different guys, you know, in different ways. I think that was the biggest thing for me, learning how to do that. Yep.
Other stuff than plumbing. It is such a surprise there. Hey, we got a question from Danny. Danny. Yep. Hi, Danny. How you doing, man? Hey, Mitch, have you heard of an app called Nextdoor? Yeah, but yeah. And so your thoughts, and if so, your thoughts, and are there other apps like that?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't used it, but the people that I have heard use it, they've said good things about it. So, I mean, I like to get on as much stuff as I can and be as visible as many places as I can.
You're saying going wide. I mean, that's another way, going wide, being seen. Right. Different. There we go. So, all right, Kevin's back. Hey, Mitch, what flat rate system do you use?
Yeah, there's a lot of systems out there, and I just keep it very, very simple. I have a calculator that I can email to anybody, and the calculator, it basically, you plug in your overhead to it, and then it spits out like what you should be charging per billable hour. So, you know, $250 per billable hour, $300 per billable hour. And then, you know, with that, then you just figure, okay, does a water heater takes me 2.5 hours, times the, you know, 300 per billable hour, and then you add in your parts, and then you mark up your parts, whatever you want to mark them up. So that's what I do. I know there's a lot of systems out there. I've tried a lot of different ones. That's just what works best for me, is just doing it that way. And, you know, what I've found is there's some things that work good for some people that don't work well for others.
Exactly right. There's all kinds of, just, you know, eat at different restaurants, you shop at different stores or whatever, very similar kind of a thing. But the bottom line in this, and I know Mitch, you know, we talked about this kind of stuff as well, but it's just knowing your cost. I mean, you just got to make sure that you keep track of all your cost, and you account for all your costs, and that's built into your price. Because that's where you get knocked upside the head pretty quick if you don't have that stuff put together. So.
Yeah,
you have it. All right, man. Hey, we're going to get Mitch. Mitch will be right back. Give him a chance to catch his breath here. Hey, he's going to be dropping some more nuggets of gold. So just stick around here. We'll be back here in 60 seconds here. But we're talking about customers. All right. And the last thing you want to do once you get these customers, okay, you paid, all right, through your pay-per-click and your SEO, and you track these customers. And, you know, so now they're calling. But the last thing you want to have happen is to lose those customers because, you know, you misplaced their number because you wrote it on a piece of paper, or you double booked them, or you just forgot about them. Okay. Try telling a customer you forgot about them. It doesn't matter how much you pay per click for it. You know, they're gone. Okay. But you know, with Jobber management software, you don't have to worry about those customer killers, all right? Because Jobber makes it easy for you to schedule your customers. There's no more double booking concerns. Jobber makes it easy for you to dispatch your calls, okay? Jobber makes it easy to keep track of your guys as you start growing, what Mitch is talking about there. You know, keep track of your guys, okay? Jobber even makes it easy for you to pay your customers, and that's what it's all about, because this ain't a hobby. Jobber makes it, you know, with Jobber, you save the time. With Jobber, you save money, and you save your customers. You got to save those customers. And right now, you can try Jobber free for 14 days and receive 20% off your first 6 months, because I've hooked you up, bro. Okay? Try it. All right? Simply go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com. Plumbers.com/jobber to get your free 14-day trial, free, and 20% off your first 6 months of Jobber. You and your customers will be glad you did. Okay, just do it. You got to have that kind of information. Okay, you got to do it. And speaking of making it easy for your customers to pay you, Square does just that. Okay, Square payment processing with Square is literally like money in the bank. I mean, it's money in the bank because right then the customer just swipes their card and the money is in your bank by the next business day. Okay, there's no waiting by the mailbox to get paid for that job you did last month. Okay, no more chasing down late pays, no more robbing from Paul to pay Peter. And you know what I'm talking about. We've all been there. Okay, all right, there's no more of that. You just simply swipe and the money's in your account again by the next business day. And signing up for Square is free. You pay only when you make a sale. There are no monthly or hidden fees, and you pay the same rate for all major credit cards. Okay, so no gaming there. All right, and right now you will receive free processing for up to $1,000 in credit card transactions on your first 180 days. All right, can you say money in the bank? Say it, money in the bank. For more details, go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com/square and start swiping today. All right, hey Drew. Hi, Richard. How was your day? All right. Hey, brother. It was great, man. How's your day going? All right. Thanks for saying hi. All right. Hey, let's get Mitch back on here, man. All right, Mitch, you ready for the lightning round?
I'm ready, man. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do this. So here we go, guys. All right, Mitch, what was holding you back from starting your plumbing business?
Just fear of the unknown.
Yep.
Just, fear of failing and losing money and having to start all over again. But
that's right.
I just look at like, what's the worst case scenario? Like, am I going to go to jail? Am I going to die? Am I going to get some crazy disease? No. Worst case, I lose some money. I start over. That's not too bad.
Well, what about if your friends start laughing at you? The guys you were working with in the other shop, what are they going to say? They're going to laugh at you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. What about that? Great. I love that. The lovely Laura just love that. That's the attitude. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's best to just to not worry what other people are thinking about you and not to even put that thought in your head, I know I've struggled with thinking what other people think about me. Like, oh, they're probably thinking bad about me or whatever. And I mean, that thought never goes away. But what I'm learning to do is anytime that thought comes in is to just block that thought and then just change my thought pattern, because thoughts are things, right? So if I start to think that, people are talking bad about me and this and that, and then it becomes my reality, So I block all that stuff out quickly.
Oh, I love it, man. But probably, hey, for you guys, a couple of you kind of looking to mention about maybe starting your own thing. And a lot of you guys, that's what you're thinking about doing. And there's that fear. Here you got a guy who's very successful and failed. I've got a similar story. Most very successful businessmen have gone bankrupt at least twice, twice. Not that you want to go bankrupt. I'm sure, Mitch, you don't ever go through that again.
No,
I don't want to go through my dirty laundry again either, because it sure is more fun being successful, isn't it? But
yeah.
But the fear, it's there, and so you guys out there, hey, it's very real, and I know your head's talking at you, and Mitch is what he just said. You got to block that out, and because that will become your reality, and you gotta think on the reality that you want. You want your successful plumbing business, and not where you came from. There we go, man. Good stuff. Hey, Mitch, share a personal habit that sets your day up for success.
I plan my day the night before. So the night before I go to bed, I just write down. I've got my, I don't have it with me. I use Grant. I'm a big Grant Cardone fan. He has a thing called the 10X Planner. Yeah. So basically, there's a list. I don't have it in here. I'd show you guys, but there's a big thick list and it has 30 line items. And the goal is you want to have no white space in there. So every line item you want filled, because if you have white space in your calendar, you're not being productive enough. Mm-hmm. And these line items, you want it to be revenue producing activities.
Yep.
And if you fill your white space with revenue producing activities, like you're just going to be successful, and then on the right side, it's, you write your goals down in the morning. You write down your targets, which is kind of like your short-term stuff, like stuff I need to get committed this year, and then your quote of the day. And then at nighttime, you write down your goals again, and then you write down your successes. And that's one thing that's been hard for me, is like celebrating successes, because I like to be very hard on myself. I like to try to hold myself to very high standards. So
we are, do. Yep.
Yeah. So like one thing I've done in the past is I haven't like always celebrated my successes, just because I've been like, oh, big deal. I need to get to that higher point. But I'm starting to learn that to celebrate the small wins, it's like a thing that it's a subconscious thing. It helps you. Okay, so if I do X, then I know that I get a reward Y, and it tricks the brain in. So, if I sign on a new client, then it doesn't have to be a big deal, but maybe I get myself, I get a beer that day or something,
Right. There we go.
That's right. Subconscious. It's like Pavlov's dogs, like if I sign up a client, then I get a reward.
Here we go.
That stuff, and it's really helped me out.
There we go. So kind of a drinking game. That's the game I like to play. That one, right? Like that. We do a similar kind of a thing. The lovely Laura and I, when we drink at a different time. Anyway, won't go into that. But with our business, and our business says, that's how you do it. You guys listen up there, guys. Mitch just laid, some huge nuggets of gold just in what he just spoke about there, of just, having your day planned out. You have to plan. What's the saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That kind of a thing. And that you're pushing yourself. You're throwing punches. You're pushing. You're pushing and pushing and pushing. But then it is the fun side of it is, and we do this when we achieve a certain goal or a certain thing happens. Then that's for us. Our big thing is we like fancy food, and so we'll go out and get a rather nice meal and that kind of stuff. And we give ourselves those little wins, and of course the big ones gets us to where we want to travel to, that kind of a thing. So you can do those kinds of things, and that's what drives you and pulls you along, up your success ladder. And good stuff there.
About the calendar, when do you put your joystick time in?
Oh yeah, the lovely Laura's asking, Mitch, when do you put your gaming time in? When do you spend your hour or 2 hours a day to,
4, 5, 6,
playing, Zombie Killer or something like that?
Oh yeah, I gave up video games. I only have room in my life for one thing, and that's surfing.
There we go.
Have a good. Yeah. So I got to spend time with my kids. So I got to spend time with my wife. So it's business like 14 hours a day, and then I'll get like an hour surfing in, and then an hour with kids and wife, and that's all I got time for right now. So success takes sacrifices.
That's well said. There's enough right there. Exactly right, brother. Amen. Okay. Hey, man, what's a piece of software or some kind of tech gadget that you use to help run your business that you would recommend?
Yeah. Hey, Gene Slade, just saying hi back to Gene.
Oh, yeah.
Technology, just my cell phone, man. I didn't really get an office until we were at like 1.5 million. Like I did everything off my cell phone.
It's great. Yep.
Like just get going, like you don't have to have all these things in place. Like I just use I wear my cell phone out. So that's my favorite piece of technology. It's this thing here, this is like a very powerful weapon, So I'm on this thing all the time.
There we go. Great advice, guys. See, guys, you don't need a bunch of magical stuff. It's just, having the plan, working your plan, using what you got. But focusing on it and getting it done, man. Mitch, you've been great. Guys, Mitch has dropped, a ton of gold on us there. So, great stuff there. Hey, but Mitch, before we let you go, and what's the best advice that you've ever received?
Yeah, and I've been thinking about that. And I want to give a really good answer. So let me just ponder this for a sec.
You've had a lot of good answers, so we'll give you a moment here.
I would say, what comes to mind? The first thing that comes to mind is what Grant Cardone told me, and that's basically just to go big, like way bigger than you think you can go.
Yeah.
And just go big and go fast.
Man, great stuff. Great stuff there, man. Hey, did you go on that? Have you been to a Grant Cardone event?
Yeah. I've done some personal coaching with him, and then I've been to some of his events and stuff.
There we go. You're always getting a coach. So would you recommend him? You recommend him to the guys?
I would. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of his, but I like his style. He's helped change my life. Some of the personal coaching sessions I did with him. Just 45 minutes with somebody that has that level of success. You pay them a lot of money, but you only need one or two things that it's not always like this big long thing. It can just be one or two little things that somebody, with that much success can share with you that can really change your game.
Exactly.
And he's helped me with a lot of mindset. It's like if you don't have the right frame of mind, it's just going to be hard whatever you do.
Right.
So I'm just always thinking in terms of abundance and
plenty,
mass scale and growth.
Right. The world is growing, not dying. Don't. One thing we talk about, getting rid of the gaming and that kind of stuff. Unless I played with the kids when they, that kind of a thing. But as a man and working on a business to be successful, you put away the games. Even the golf. You had to put away the guys, that kind of stuff. It's good to have something to do. Like sounds like your workout is surfing. Is good. It's always good to have something and you work on yourself. That kind of a thing. One thing we did, we were kind of news junkies for a long time, but, watching the news and stuff, it just gets you to think of everything's negative and there's, the scarcity and we're all going to die and this person's after you and this person doesn't like that person and this is bad and they're bad and we're bad and, and it just,
I gave up the news. I was addicted to it up until about a month ago. I just I like to get the daily events, see what's going on and stuff.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, we at war. Has the asteroid hit us yet?
Right. And I decided to give it up. I don't check it anymore, and because it's all negative, and
right. No matter what side, wherever you're coming from, it's always negative. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you put that negativity into your mind, into your subconscious. Well, thoughts are things, so that's going to create a negative reality for you.
There we go. That's a great point, guys. Right there, just what Mitch said. That's a huge nugget of gold right there. So, hey, Mitch, it's great. Hey, before you go though, how can the guys get a hold of you? Especially Pipes Media, whatever. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I think I'm probably friends with a lot of people watching this. So you can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger if you guys are interested in get some more phone calls for your business. Otherwise, you can check out my website, pipesmedia.com, PIPES media.com. Or you can email me at mk@pipesmedia.com.
There we go. All right, good. Do it. All right. Hey, Mitch, thanks. It's been great. Hey, look forward to talking with you again. And maybe we'll run into each other down the surf in Puerto Rico. Who knows? Kind of referring to something earlier. All right. Okay, there we have it. Hey, thanks, Mitch. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, gang. All right. Mitch Kenney, founder, Colepepper Plumbing and Pipes Media. Man, great stuff there. Hope you were listening between the lines there because there's a lot of nuggets of gold there that he was throwing down at us. All right. So, man, great Potty Talk Live guest. Very fun. We enjoyed that. Hey, would enjoy having you on Potty Talk Live. I know you have nuggets of gold to throw down too. Okay. You have a life experience. You have a story to tell. And the plumbing world wants to hear your story. So if you'd like to be my guest on Potty Talk Live, you can see, hey, it's fun. See, we just have a conversation and we all learn a little bit something from one another. Okay. Simply go to www.pottytalklive.com, scroll on down to the Be My Guest button and just click it. It's that easy. And ask you a couple questions. You have to be involved in plumbing. All right. This is about plumbing and for plumbers. Okay. So you gotta be that. That's the only stipulation. Okay. But we'd love to have you on the show and talk to you. All right. Hey, and if you'd like to check out other cool cats that we had, I said cool cat. All right. If you'd like to check out other cool cats that have been on Potty Talk Live, there's a whole gold mine of information. All right. Hey, check out my YouTube channel, The $1 Million Plumber. All right. On YouTube. And you'll see the other episodes of Potty Talk Live there. And can hear from others just like Mitch here and also catch the replay of Mitch. Okay. You may want to go back and listen to that. A lot of good stuff that he had in there. So, hey, and also I got some guys here who are looking to do your own thing. Okay. If you are looking to do your own thing, I want to get my e-booklet into your purple pen, primer stained hands. All right. The 7 must-knows to be $1 million plumber. These are 7 principles you got to know. It ain't about the plumbing. It's about the business to be successful. Mitch was talking all around that. I mean, there was a wealth of information that he was kind of talking about in the limited time that we had with him. But I want to get this reported into your hands. Simply type free in the comments, FREE, and I'll get it right out to you. So, all right, there you have it. Hey, be sure to join us tomorrow where we have a lady plumbing business owner from the UK. All right. She's been all over the BBC and written up all over all kinds of different periodicals. She's our guest tomorrow, and we're going to, she has 70 plumbers. All right. She was a mom. They call her, she's known as the mom among men. And she was a mom with three kids and decided she wanted to start her own plumbing business. And she did. All right. So I know we're going to learn a few things from her. All right. So us guys here, let's listen up. Okay. So, hey, it's on 4. Yeah. 4th. Thank you. There 4 Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow will be the live Potty Talk taping there. So come be a part of that live social audience. Have some questions for her. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time. All right. So there you have it. Hey, before I let you go, I do want to remind you that you were purposefully and wonderfully created. You were created to do great things. All right. Yes. Yeah, so, you guys are thinking about doing your own thing. Just do it because you were created to do that. That's inside of you. All right. And think the good stuff. Like Mitch was saying, think good. All right. You were meant to do that. So when you're out there doing it and working on it, go plumb like a champion.